Winnipeg Jets 4-2 losers to the Ottawa Senators. They've lost 8 of their last 9 games. They've got 3 games remaining in the regular season before the playoffs. And joining me to discuss, former Winnipeg Jets defenseman and captain Scott Campbell. Scott, easy question for you. What's wrong with the Winnipeg Jets?
No problem. That's a really easy question there. Really starting off on the right foot here, Joe. But anyways, yeah, well, I guess we got to address it. Somebody's got to figure it out because the coaching staff has had problems with it right now. They're trying to come up with answers, and they seem to get a partial answer, and then things turn around again, like that happened against the Sens. So it's something that I really don't have the exact answer, or I would be selling it to Maurice right now. But I would say that it's something that started back when the part where Paul Stastny pointed out that they were cheating the game. And now we're looking at a whole totally different scenario where now everybody's aware of it. It's out in the open. The coaching staff has had to deal with it. The players are talking about it. They got to play the right way. They played the right way for a couple of games, and now we drifted off back into some old bad habits. And that's where we stand today. And I don't have an answer.
And before all this losing started, they played the Maple Leafs, albeit Austin Matthews wasn't in the Leafs lineup. But that 5-2 victory in Toronto was the template. This is how the Winnipeg Jets should play. They get the puck out of their blue line. They go north and south, and then get the puck deep when they get to the opposing team's blue line, and they put the pressure on the defense. And the only 2 goals in the Leafs scored in that game were because on the first goal, Mark Scheifele turned the puck over at the Leafs blue line, which caused an odd man rush the other way, and Galchenyuk scored. And then on the second one, it was in the second period, again, one of those long, shift changes that burns the Jets. But other than that, that was the template. Get the puck out, get the puck in deep, and the Jets play in a north-south game. They'll do okay.
So they're fine doing that, but what the problem is, why do they not continue to do it night after night? And that's I believe it's a confidence thing, and a big part of it is I don't know how they get to that point though. They had to be confident that night. So here's how we play, boys. This is our template, just like just like the coach wants. This is how we're supposed to play. Why do teams do this? I do not have any idea what happens, other than I do know there were a couple of injuries that hurt the team. And both Lowry and Nick Ehlers have hurt this hockey club being out. Lowry showed that getting back into the lineup and putting the team on his back the other night in Calgary. Certainly, he makes such a physical difference in the game. You can see a lot of the guys play a little taller with him in the lineup. Certainly, Nick Ehlers being the Jets' best skater, in my opinion, this year, being out, electric. Just brings you out of your seat watching him play. He can turn the game around on the one shift and just one rush up the ice and change all the momentum. And they really missed that. And it's missed on the power play too with them. So particularly the second power play unit with Ehlers. And so there are a number of factors, but I certainly don't want to give them the excuse. They're an NHL hockey team. Everybody's had injuries. Look what happened to Vancouver for 3 or 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. This is not an excuse per se, but it looks like to me right now that that's how important those players are to this team, where it shouldn't be. The other guys there's enough talent in that dressing room that they should be able to pick up the bootstraps and make up the difference. They can't make up totally for Ehlers, but they can certainly play a lot better than they have been.
And I know that Mark Scheifele and Blake Wheeler have come in for deserved criticism, I would say, this season. But I can also say that in the Ottawa game, I thought that those 2 players were the best Jet forwards that night. They certainly were putting in the effort and the hard work needed. So I was quite positive to see that, especially from supposedly your top 2 players.
Yeah, that was good to see. I was shocked basically when I saw Scheifele diving for a puck on his chest to keep the puck inside the zone, knock it back to a defenseman. That's more than what we've seen from him. We've seen, we're all still have that the shift that commenced in our mind, right? And that was a very irritating thing to see a leader of the team do. I was really upset with him for that, but he also paid the price for it too. And now he's come out and he's bounced back, and now he's trying to lead the team along with Wheeler, of course. effort-wise. My question, I guess, is where was the following? Because when your best guys are supposed, your top guys, your big leaders are doing that, well, why aren't the rest of the guys rallying behind it and rolling out the next shift behind that and trying to outdo them? Where basically it looked very, very placid, docile play when compared to what they're capable of.
Yeah. 3 games remaining in the regular season, 2 against the Vancouver Canucks and the other game against the Maple Leafs. We hear that Maurice is going to switch up Andrew Kopp, play him with Luc Dubois and with Perreault, and put Stastny with Lowry and Appleton. It doesn't seem like that's an earth-shattering move at this point. It's going to shake anything up. I can't see how that would shake anything up.
I don't, you know what, I guess he's just kind of throwing things at the wall right now. I don't know. There are combinations that you think might be better. I think it's going to really depend on whether Nick Ehlers gets back in the lineup at that playoff time, and whatever happens in Vancouver with these lines. Hopefully something gels. One thing about chemistry, you'd never know where it might strike. And that's something that I've learned through playing and coaching after I was done playing, that people that you'd sit there and you go, well, this guy can't, he'll never fit with that guy, the passer, 2 passers, who's going to shoot the puck? And then you put the 2 together and one becomes a great shooter. You didn't realize how good he really was because he was always passing the puck. So you didn't realize he had this innate ability that nobody was seeing in him before that. So I tend to sit and watch when I see these changes. I want to sit and let's have a look at them. Let's see what happens. I don't think it's going to be earth shattering. I agree with that. But at this point, I mean, I don't know the whole processes of his thinking either. So it's one of those things that I just go, let's see what happens. Let's wait, and hopefully Ehlers gets back in the lineup, because I think that'll be the biggest difference we'll see out of any changes that he makes at all.
Should Jet fans be concerned about how Connor Hellebuck has been playing this season, heading into the playoffs?
Well, yeah, sure. Yeah, they should be concerned is the perfect word for it. I wouldn't be worried because he's the former Vezina winner or the last Vezina winner, and he's got a track record of a whole year there where he carried the team. This year, his numbers haven't been as good, and his play hasn't been as good, and he doesn't do very well with the puck when he's handling it behind the net and skating around with it. So there's no way that, and we're not going to cure him with that. He's been no good at that for years now. He's not getting any better. So we got to live with that part of it. So that's where the concern comes in. The concern about whether he can outduel the goaltending, I think it is the big thing. Can he outdo Mike Smith? I'm not sure he can. Mike Smith, I thought he's a terrible goaltender the last few years. I laughed when they signed him this year at Edmonton, and he's done nothing but prove me wrong. So you got that. He's going to have to outplay Mike Smith for sure for them to beat the Oilers. If it's Toronto, I think he can outplay any of the 3 goaltenders that are going there. David Rittich, whether it's Jack Campbell or Frederick Anderson. So it's one of those ones where I give him a chance to be at least as good as and not hurt the team there. But he's got to stand on his head. Who's kidding who? If he doesn't stand on his head, this team's going home early.
What's most important in these last 3 games of the regular season? Is it how the Jets play, or is it winning?
Both for me. But playing the right way is the most important one. If they don't win, that's fine. If they did everything right, they outshoot Vancouver 60-12, and they got stoned by the goaltender. I have no problem with that. That's a good way of going in there. Better than not playing well at all, okay, and winning. That'd be the worst thing that could happen to them. Have them cheat the game and get wins and start thinking of themselves as this is the right way to play when it's the wrong way. So playing the right way is the one to do. What the coaches want is this defensive game. I'm not even sure that's the best way, the systems that they have, but since that's all we've got at this time of year, do those systems right, play what you're told. Get pucks in you don't want pucks in deep. I mean, you want everybody to get the puck out at the right time. You want to have puck control, of course. So I'm a big fan of it. I do not want to just give the puck up for no reason, but I also want to make smart plays. I want to see them do things the right way, that way. And I know they're being told that they're supposed to be playing like that because they talk about it. They talk the game fine after the game when they haven't done it right. This is what we were supposed to do and we didn't do it. So they know what they're supposed to do. Play that way, and they'll be fine. Winning would help, though. I think confidence-wise to go in with a few wins. There's no doubt. When you lose 7 in a row, now they were pretty mucky around the rink, I'm sure, and you could see it in their demeanor. Losing, and who wouldn't be that way when you lose 7 in a row? So now they're playing a little, they got a little bit of taste of a better game that they can play, and they've fallen a little bit on Saturday. Well, they're just going to have to turn it around. They're big boys. They're getting paid big money, and they've got a team that's getting paid big money on the other side, but they're tired. They're in the midst of a very tough schedule. So the Canucks are, and it's something that the Jets' best case scenario, play the right way and blow them out of the rink and get lots of confidence, get Kyle Connor scoring, get some other guys that have been running dry lately, get their hands moving again, get them confident. That's the best case scenario, is get guys' confidence up.
I'll leave you on this question. Should Ville Heinola play the rest of the season and into the playoffs? Have you seen enough from him?
I have seen enough from him, but I had seen enough from him for being in before. I'm a little upset that they didn't get him in earlier. I thought he should have been in the lineup for 15, 20 games to give the kid a legit chance to be up the playoff form. So there is a little bit of concern now that I can see where Maurice could pick on a couple of times where he got the puck stripped from him and forget about the 20 great plays that he made, where his gaps were really good, where he made some great heads up plays in the game. I've seen enough that this kid's smart. He's so smart. He gets in the way of people. He doesn't have to be physically smart. He's smart enough to get his body in the way and get his stick in the way of and the puck comes up the ice very quickly and on the tape when he does get hold of it. So he is what the Jets need, as far as I'm concerned. You need to be able to move the puck in the playoffs. If they think they're not going to get away with slugging the puck off, just banging it off the boards, that's not going to work. He's one of those guys that can give the Jets' best players the puck in the right spots, and they can actually do something with it instead of chasing it down all night long.
Scott Campbell, former Winnipeg Jets defenseman and captain, thank you very much for this. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks for having me.